We're here at the beautiful Saratoga Library. Not only is it beautiful, but like all libraries across the country, facing challenges. We say challenges. I made the mistake of saying difficulties, but the word is challenges. And you are sort of new to your appointment. Why don't you tell our audience who you are and how Barbara and you work together?
Certainly. I'm Derek Wolfgram. I'm the Deputy County Librarian for the Santa Clara County Library. I started my position in June, and I am the responsible for human resources for the county library, and I also oversee the operations of all of our libraries.
Lots of responsibilities, and you are here and then on your way to something even bigger or more challenging?
Perhaps. I'm Barbara Morrow Williams, and I'm the community librarian here at Saratoga. And I've just been offered the position of city librarian in a Southern California city. So I'll be leaving I'll be starting there on January 4th.
And you didn't say what, or is that a secret?
Oh, no, it's not a secret at all. It's Monterey Park, California.
Monterey Park.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful city. I've been there.
It is. Uh-huh.
So, when we speak of libraries, it's a refuge, it's a home, it's a place where we can learn what we don't know and want to know. And with all of that goodness, there are potential challenges. And why don't you tell us a little bit about the challenges that you face and certainly Barbara's going to face in your new position in Monterey?
Well, I think the ones that I faced here really prepare me for the ones that I may face in Monterey Park. And I think primarily what we have here is our after-school program has been very successful with our children, with our students, but it has also created some serious traffic problems in the parking lot, which I think is the first reason that we started discussing this. And then also we have a number of students who come into the library after school who really need more direction and more supervision than the library is prepared to give to them. We are here to help with homework, to help with research, to help with casual reading, to help with entertainment. We are not a
babysitter.
Well, I don't like to call it babysitting, but certainly we can't give the kind of supervision that, say, a Boys and Girls Club could give or a community center could give. Our students need a lot more attention than some of them are receiving, and the library has been put in a very difficult position of having to try to provide that supervision and that attention when we simply don't have the staff to do that.
Right. I did a little reading before I came to speak to you, and it is a problem that is prevalent, throughout the country, especially in the major cities where they not only have the kids in school, but they have the homeless. I don't think that's a problem here.
We have our share of people who may not have other facilities to use, but they haven't been a problem. You're correct about that. They have not. We feel that we've been able to really work with a lot of our population that may be in other circumstances considered more difficult.
And have you met with for instance, there's Redwood School and so forth. Have you met with some of the parents and the Teachers Association and gone over with them as to possible solutions to, you say it's a challenge, and I say it's a huge a huge consideration.
Well, we've been very fortunate that we've had excellent relationships with Lane Weiss, who's the superintendent of the area, with the principals at the high schools, and also the principal at Redwood School, as well as with St. Andrews across the street and Sacred Heart, which is next door. We know each other, and we've worked together on various issues, and we've done some group problem solving on it. And I think to the extent that we've made progress at this point, it's because we've had such good relationships. The other group that we've had good relationships with is our PTA group from Redwood, as well as the Saratoga Educational Foundation. All of the members of those organizations use the library on a regular basis, and they're very aware of some of the challenges that we face, not just as a library, but as an important institution in the community.
Derek, the dwindling funds, the dwindling monies that you get from government and so forth, although hopefully they're will be an increase in these monies. Also, you have to look at what we call the big picture, and is there more of a solution that maybe you could work more closely with the parents, that they would help subsidize after school activities in the high school and grade schools and middle schools instead of just relying upon the libraries?
Well, I certainly think the more opportunities there are in the community for kids to have a place to go after school, the better that's going to be, the more options they have. And whether, we certainly welcome the kids to come here. We love having the crowds after school. It's just that there are some challenges that we face as a part of that. One that Barbara alluded to that's huge is the safety of the parking lot as students are picked up here after school instead of at their schools. We get a traffic flow that the library wasn't really designed to handle. And so I think that it's just a matter of everybody maintaining some respect for the rights of others and not impinging on other people's access and other people's safety.
Our main concern right now is in the here and now, and that is, what are we going to do right now about the safety of people and children, especially after school, when there's heavy traffic, when people are crowding and stopping and no stopping signs. The city has put signs up out front that ask people not to stop. Every day, people stop right in the area that's marked in red. We've not had an emergency, but that's really simply by grace that we have not had a major emergency in which cars have had to be asked to move or that someone hasn't been hit. It's only a matter of time, we feel, that a serious incident's going to occur. And that's what we're trying to avoid, and that's what we are asking for, as much cooperation from as many different entities in the community as possible.
Is there such a person as, say, an off-duty fireman could come for that hour? Well, I will hopefully think of or an off-duty policeman. Is that a possibility?
Well, there is a CSO officer, Deputy Dan Cutforth, who works with the schools, and we have explored having him come here to be a part of our after-school efforts, and that is an ongoing conversation.
Right. Well, I've certainly enjoyed speaking with you, hearing about the problems. We're going to present it to the city of Saratoga with our little broadcast. And is there anything else that maybe some little thing I forgot to ask you that you can say, Nan, here's another point?
There's nothing that's coming to my mind. I appreciate the opportunity to get the word out about the things we'd like for some assistance from the community with. Barbara, is there anything else you would add?
We really want to encourage everyone to get a library card. I think that's very important. The percentage of Saratoga residents who own a library card is a little lower than we'd like. So we want to encourage people to do that. And we want to encourage the ones who do have a library card to continue to work with us and to continue to come and visit the library and help us do a lot of group thinking about how we can make this a safer access, not only for our children, but for our elderly who may have mobility issues coming into the library. So again, we want to encourage all levels of ages to come to the library.
Well, we certainly hope to help you in this effort, and thank you, Tom and I. Thank you for letting us know and letting the community know what a valuable resource you have here, and hopefully you'll have even more people coming in and using the beautiful Saratoga Library.
Thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you, Nan.
Thank you.